wanted to see me?
Yes, Paul. I really like the way you dance. No, I mean it. So, I figured we'd try this again. For one thing, if you're going to change your name, why go from a Puerto Rican name to an Italian one?
Because I don't look it. People always say, you don't look Puerto Rican, you don't look Puerto Rican. But I am.
So, you figured you looked Italian?
No, I just wanted to be somebody new. So I became Paul San Marco.
Why did you want to become somebody new?
I'm not exactly proud of my past.
Who is? But that's what the word means, Paul. Past.
It might be easy for you to say.
Look, wait a minute. What made you start dancing? Your parents?
No, the Puerto Ricans know about theater. I mean, now they have Channel 47, but back then they didn't have anything. But my father loved movies, and he'd take us all the time. He worked nights, and he'd come home, and he'd take us to 42nd Street, and we'd come out of one movie, and go to another, and another movie. I don't know why, but I loved musicals.
How old were you?
7 or 8.
On 42nd Street.
Yeah, it was a trip.
Go on.
Well, I moved down front, because I couldn't see. I wear contact lenses now, but I moved down front. And these strange men would come sit beside me. And play with me. I guess I never told anyone because, well, I guess it didn't matter.
Why didn't it matter?
Why?
Look, Paul, if this is too rough for you, I have your picture and resume.
No. Okay. From seeing all those movie musicals, I used to dance around on the street, and I'd get caught all the time. God, it was so embarrassing. I was always being Sid Charisse. Always. Which I don't really understand, because I always wanted to be an actor. I mean, I really wanted to perform. And once my cousin said to me, "You'll never be an actor." And I knew she was only telling me this because I was such a sissy. And I was. Terribly effeminate. I always knew I was gay. That didn't bother me. What bothered me is that I didn't know how to be a boy. One day I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, "You're 14 years old and you're a faggot. What are you going to do with your life?" Well, by that time I was at Cardinal Hayes High School, and there were 3,000 boys there. I had no protection, no homeroom where I could be charming and funny for the tough guys, so they'd fight my battles for me, like when I went to small schools. I liked school, but my grades got so bad. Even if I knew the answers to questions, I wouldn't raise my hand because I'd be afraid they'd laugh at me. And whistle at me down the hallways. It was awful, just awful. So finally, I went down to the principal's office and I said, "I'm a homosexual." Well, it was a Catholic high school. And at the age of 15, you didn't just say that. He said, "Would you like to see a psychologist?" And I did. And he said, "I think you're very well adjusted for your age, and I think you should quit school." So I did. I didn't want to, I couldn't take it anymore. See, when I quit school, what I was doing was trying to figure out who I was and how to be a man. You know, there are a lot of people in this world that don't know how to be men. And since then, I found out I am one. I was looking for the wrong thing. I was trying to learn how to be butch. Anyway, I started hanging around 72nd Street, meeting all these really strange people. Just trying to make friends that were like me, so that I could understand what it was that I was. Somebody told me they were looking for male dancers at the Jewel Box Review. You know, the drag show. So I go down to audition. Now, from all those years of being Sid Charisse, I had this fabulous extension. I could turn anything. My first audition. And they said to me, well, you're too short to be a boy, would you like to be a pony? And I said, what's that? They said, a girl. Well, what do I have to do? Show us your legs. But I have hair on my legs. That's okay, come on upstairs. So I go upstairs, and they hike up my dungarees and put on a pair of nylon stockings and high heels. It was freaky. It was incredible. So I go back downstairs, and they say, wow, you have wonderful legs. And I said, really? Terrific. It's so strange to think about all this. It was a whole lifetime ago. I was just past 16. Anyway, then there was this whole thing of having to hide from my parents. That was something, because I had to buy all this stuff, like shoes to rehearse in, earrings, makeup, and I would hide it all, and my mother would find it. I told her that there was this girl on the show who didn't want her mother to know what she was doing, so I was holding all this stuff for her. She believed me. Well, I was finally in show business. It was the asshole of show business. It was a job. Nothing to brag about. I had friends. But after a while, it was so demeaning. Nobody at the jukebox seemed to have any dignity, and most of them were ashamed of themselves or considered themselves freaks. Yeah, I think it was the lack of dignity that got to me. So I left. I mumbled around for a while. I was a waiter, worked as an office boy, but without an education, you can't get a good job. So when the jukebox called and asked if I'd come back, I went. We were at the Apollo Theater on 125th doing 4 shows a day and a movie. It was really tacky. The show was moving to Chicago, and my parents wanted to say goodbye, so they were going to bring my luggage to the theater after the show. We were doing this Oriental number, and I looked like Anna May Wong. I had these 2 great big chrysanthemums on either side of my head, and this huge gold headdress with these balls hanging all over it. Anyways, I'm going over the finale. Who should I see by the stage door but my parents? They got there too early, and I freaked. I didn't know what to do, so I thought to myself, I know, I'll just walk quickly past them, and they'll never recognize me. So I took a deep breath, and I started down the stairs, and just as I passed my mother, I hear her say, oh my God. Well, I died, but what could I do? I had to go on for the finale, so I just kept going. After the show, I went back into my dressing room, and after I finished dressing and taking my makeup off, I go back downstairs, and there they are, standing in the middle of all these. And all they said was, please write, make sure you eat, take care of yourself. And then just before my parents left, my father turns to one of the producers and he says, you take care of my son. That was the first time that he ever called me that. And Zach, do you want to